Hello friends, my name is Claire and I'm going to be doing a shell challenge for this week's video. You can see all the information is on the screen. It's going to be on screen for a little bit, but I figured out of this shell challenge through Instagram, and this shell challenge will be ending at the end of the month. So if you want to participate, you can go to the Instagram account and all the information will be there. I've been following this user for a while and her builds are really impressive. For this build, I came up with a little storyline. It's not too big, it's very flexible if you want to not follow it, but essentially what I was imagining the family that would live in this house would be they would have just moved from San Myshuno into Windenburg, where this house is built, and they would have moved for a job opportunity, and they have a teen daughter and a child son. And the teen's a little bit more like, why did you take me out of the city? I liked the city. And the boy is a little bit more adventurous, so he kind of likes being out here in the actual jungle, not so much the concrete jungle. So we are just going to be adding some some items onto the kitchen. I did try to keep it pretty neutral, try to have a few counters available for your Sims to cook together. Pretty sure your Sims can cook on 3 total counters. I was imagining that these Sims are still kind of looking for random items here and there when it comes to moving. I have done it somewhat recently, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, that's where I put that random thing in that random box, and I'm finally now seeing it. So it's kind of minimalistic style, and I was imagining that before moving into this house, they would have updated a few things and maybe even added a second level to the house to fit their Sims needs better. I was imagining before this renovation it would be a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, but now it is a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom home, and I'll try to talk more about that in a minute when we get to the second level. So we are just going to be going with a eclectic kind of style for this house, and I wanted it to kind of be like farmhousey, Windenburg, like inspired, and I also wanted to kind of have some of those like more modern elements that come with San Myshuno. And since this is a family home, I wanted to use some items from the not growing together, the Parenthood pack, which is basically the same thing as the Growing Together pack. And so we are in the dining room area. It's kind of more like a dining corner, just kind of a spot I carved out for this area. Well, I didn't really carve it out because I didn't make the shell, but we are just going to be adding some lights above the above the table, and I really liked how these lights just seemed really eclectic, and I just haven't used them in a while, so I thought I might as well do it for this video. And so we are just going to be adding a little cabinet with some of the like plates and stuff on the wall with the windows. I didn't really want to overly clutter this area, and I was trying to put some fall decorations in this build because at the time of recording this, it is still fall. It's in November now, and so I wanted to add some fall things here and there, but I didn't want to like overly do it. I was mentioning since this family just moved here, they're just trying to still like settle in, but they still want to have a few fall items here and there, but it's kind of like what they can find in the moment. And so we are just going to be just moving the windows around slightly. I wanted to have a mirror above this little cabinet hutch area, and I was trying to go for pretty neutral colors throughout this space, sort of like wood tones, a lot of like grays and blues. I feel like those are like kind of trending colors, and if this is a house that is recently updated, I feel like having like more like modern items than what was originally here, what I was imagining originally here would be. And this would originally going to be like a cottage type of feel, but I feel like having a family come in and renovate this house just kind of gave a little bit more interesting storyline for this house. And so we are just going into the primary bedroom now, and I kind of kept in with the blue and gray theme in this room. I might have gone a little too dedicated to this build or this room with the grays and the blues. I really wanted it to match, but I kind of think I made it a little too matchy going through and editing this video. So I did try to add some pictures that like brought in some more colors besides blue and gray, and it was a little bit hard to like work with this space because I wanted to have a like closet that your Sims can like walk into, but like I didn't have to actually make it, so I used the closet from the get together pack, but I couldn't like figure out a good like spot for it. So I do move the closet. It doesn't stay in the original place that you currently see it in. I do move it to another wall, and then that little cubby becomes a private water closet area. I'm using kind of fancy terms here. So we are just going to be adding a different light into the living room. I liked the light in the private and the primary bedroom just a little bit better, and I feel like having it nice and unified made more sense in here than in the living room. So we are just going to be adding a little stool at the end of the bed, trying to bring in some of those more warmer tones with the stool. And so we are just going to be adding the closet into the office area, and so we are just now going to be trying to find something to put on this wall. I did end up going with TV. TVs in bedrooms just kind of seem realistic to me. My parents have always had a TV in their room, so, and I kind of have a TV. I have a computer in my room, like a laptop, so it just makes sense. It's just kind of natural to me, and especially now that The Sims can lay in bed and watch TV, it just kind of makes me want to put TVs in rooms more. So we are now in the primary bathroom, and this area is pretty simple. I wanted to keep it pretty simple since it is on the smaller side, but your Sims don't really use the bathroom at the same time too often, and so I wanted to just kind of keep it with this layout, just have it one sink, one shower, one toilet, and I feel like this layout made pretty good sense. So we are just going to be adding some rugs by the sink and the shower, and going to be adding a little private water closet into the bathroom. And I think this helps with your Sims being able to use the bathroom at the same time. So we are just going to be adding some hand towels. These are my favorite hand towels, and they did come from the get together pack, and so sometimes I feel like I can't use those hand towels because because it's like from a pack, and sometimes I don't want to use the get together pack. Anyway, we are now in the office area, which I tried to make it feel like a working space, like one of the parents works from home. I was kind of imagining that said one of the parents would be a historian, and that's kind of what led them to move to Windenburg, is so they can be more into their work, be a little bit more closer to the historical sites. And so we're just going to be adding these pictures. Maybe the family has like deep ties to Wannenberg, and so we are just going to be adding a little painting corner just to give a little skill building area into this house. I do also have a garden that you'll see at the end, and I think this is really cute to have. Like, it might have just like originally been on the property, but they did like spruce it up with some more like updated fencing, and so we are just going to be adding some artwork, some items from the city living pack, and now we're just going to be just doing a few last minute changes into this main level before we go upstairs. I did make a private like walkway area to the upstairs. I just thought that would kind of be like part of the renovation, is to enclose the stairs, not have it be open to the rest of the area. And I don't know if that would be like exactly be up to code or not, but I feel like it looked better to have that like wall blocking the stairs, just to have that clean line. So we are in the first room, which is the teens room, and I gave them the trait or an interest with music that kind of mostly fell in line with the piano that comes with the city living pack, and I really like this item, just how neat and calm, or not calm, but like neat and like simple it is. And so we are just going to be adding a guitar and some other items just to bring in this musical interest for the sim. And I wanted this room in particular to have a lot of city living items because I feel like this sim would like still kind of have their heart in the city. They're still kind of like missing their friends and that community that they've built in San Myshuno. So we are just going to be adding some kind of like messy things. I wasn't particularly imagining the sim to be neat, just kind of like cluttered items everywhere, so we are just going to be adding some more like artwork from the city living pack. I know these are kind of like more gamer posters, but I was imagining that they would be gamer posters, so I don't know exactly what they would be. Maybe more like music album posters. So that's what I was kind of going for. Even though they are technically gamer posters, I was going for more of like the artistic side of the pictures. And so we are just going to be adding some final details, like some wall details, and just trying to make this space feel very used and lived in. And so we are just going to be adding some posters from the city festivals throughout this house. I put two of them downstairs, and so we are just now in the second floor bathroom that the two bedrooms up here would share. So it's a pretty simple bathroom, and since this second or third bedroom is designed for a child, I didn't really need to worry about adding a shower or a shower tub combo into this space. I just had to add a shower, and I feel like this looks a little bit better just having a shower instead of a tub. So we are just going to be adding some farm artwork. Like I said earlier, I was trying to make this house kind of eclectic, with like the family wanting to hold on to stuff from their apartment in the city, but also trying to have their home decorations fit into this new environment that they're living in. So we are now in the boys' child's bedroom. I wanted to mostly use items from the Parenthood pack just because I haven't used these items in a while, and I kind of wanted to like refresh myself with these items, re-familiarize myself, in other words. So I was mentioning that this sim would be really embracing like this new outdoor living next to like the woods type of vibe, and so we are just going to be adding a lot of like nature themed items into this room. I was mentioning that they would be like into space. They just like to get their hands in everything, and like having this little messy pile made sense, and it kind of reminded me with having that backpack in the teens room. As you can see, it kind of reminded me like, oh, they keep their backpacks in the room, and that's just kind of cute. So we are getting close to the end of the video. We are just going to be finishing up this room and going quickly outside to this little garden area. I wanted to keep it very simple in here for the Sims. They're just like kind of starting to get into gardening. They're not like really into gardening, but they have a friendly scarecrow. They have some gardening tools, and I did want to make sure that there was a jungle gym swing set for the little kid, and so we are getting close to the screenshots of the video. So if you enjoyed watching, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I post new videos every single Tuesday, and I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. If you have any build suggestions for me, please leave them down in the comments. I would love to hear what you want me to build. And I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. Bye!